Welcome to Anime with Annie. Today's recap will be on the series Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? From episodes 1 to 6 of season 1. So make sure to stay tuned until the end and hit the subscribe button if you're happy with what I recapped. That said, let's have a closer look. Episode 1. Bell Cranel was being pursued by a Minotaur when she intervened to save him. He went to visit his guild advisor Inatul while covered in the blood of the Minotaur in order to learn whatever he could about the young woman who had saved him, Ais Wallenstein. She reprimanded him for trespassing inside the dungeon before ultimately offering Bell some relationship counsel. After the discussion, Bell was welcomed home by his goddess Hestia. She handed him fried potatoes, and they were both enjoying their meal. Hestia afterwards updated Bell's status, and she was shocked to discover that Bell had learned the talent Laris Freeze. She made the choice to keep Bell from knowing this though. Hestia was sleeping on top of Bell when he woke up the following morning. He hastily changed his attire to enter the dungeon after becoming anxious. He sensed someone watching him as he walked down the street, but when he looked around, no one was there. A female then contacted him and said that he had dropped a mystical stone. Bell thanked her, even though he felt like he had already exchanged all of his magic stones. He was asked whether he was an explorer and how early he entered the dungeon by the girl. His stomach started to grumble shortly after that. Bell rejected the lunchbox the girl offered him. She assured him that she would be able to eat as she worked at a bar. She demanded a guarantee from Bell that he would go back to the bar that evening in exchange for the lunchbox. Bell persisted in fighting the enemies in the dungeon as a mental image of Ace entered his head. He was astonished by a status update that evening because practically all of his statuses had been a considerable boost. Hestia was irritated and turned away when he questioned her. The girl Bell had met earlier welcomed him when he arrived at the tavern, hostess of fertility. Syreflova was her name at the outset. The quality of food that the tavern owner provided him was amazing. Another maid announced that their special guests, the Loki Familia, were arriving when he was dining. Bell was allowed to visit Ace once again. They were having fun up until one of the Loki Familia members became inebriated. Betaloka reminded how Bell fled after the Sword Princess protected him during the Minotaur incident. A weak person like him didn't deserve someone like Ace. He continued to ridicule Bell. When Bell heard it, he hurried out of the tavern, went into the dungeon, and didn't come out till the next morning. He was severely injured when Hestia, who was standing outside their house, noticed him. She dashed over him and collapsed in her arms. He told her that he wanted to get stronger as blood trickled down his cheeks. Episode 2. Hestia informs Bell that she'll be gone for a few days, concealing Realist Phrase's development from him and attributing his growth to hard work. Hestia goes in search of Hephaestus, the god of smiths, and asks her to smith a weapon for Bell. After spending hours in the Doga's posture, Hestia finally persuades Hephaestus to manufacture a weapon with the condition that she'll pay for it no matter how long it takes. For Bell, Hephaestus creates an enchanted tant. The ladies of the hostess of fertility Bub urge Bell to give a purse back to Sire, a waitress who has a thing on Bell, but lost it because she was so thrilled about the festival. Sire has a crush on Bell. In order to find someone in the Familia she wants to acquire, someone whose description exactly fits Bell, a nameless goddess consults Loki. Hestia, who demands that they go on a romantic date, finds Bell. The unidentified goddess commands a captured albino gorilla monster to capture Bell before releasing the creature. It encircles Bell and Hestia, who try to assault it with their original knives, but it breaks. He puts Hestia behind a metal fence out of desperation and gets ready to engage the gorilla unarmed. Episode 3. Flashbacks depict Bell's decision to embark on a journey after his grandfather was slain. Bell ultimately made it to Orario, where he met Hestia and joined her Familia. The gorilla was released from the god Ganesha's arena, and Ganesha commands its arrest before it hurts innocent people, even appealing to other Familia for assistance. Hestia finally returns to Bell, and the two of them escape the gorilla together. Hestia gives Bell the Tanto, which she refers to as the Hestia knife, a living object endowed with an enchantment that makes it stronger as Bell gets stronger. Bell's stat level significantly increases when he grips the weapon for the first time, and he kills the gorilla in a flash. Numerous individuals observed his actions, including Ace, who grinned before leaving. Hestia abruptly loses consciousness as the unidentified goddess looks on. Bell vows to continue believing in Hestia as Hestia recovers after realizing that the Hestia knife was extremely valuable, since it was crafted by Hephaestus. Adventurer Jed Radish is seen in the dungeon abusing a young girl named Liliruca Arde by making her carry his gear and threatening to let monsters kill her if she disobeys him. Episode 4. Guild advisor Inatul demands they buy Bell stronger armor since she wishes to explore the dungeon's more hazardous levels. When Ania shows up suited for a date, Bell becomes agitated when they see Hestia trying to pay her debt to Hephaestus, which makes Hestia envious of Ina. Bell acquires armor from an unknown blacksmith, and Ina offers him extra wrist armor. Liliruca is saved by Bell from Jed, but she vanishes. Returning and proving herself to be a shapeshifter, Liliruca just lends her support before stealing the Hestia knife. When she tries to sell without Bell, she discovers that it becomes brittle and useless. A waitress from the Hostess of Fertility named Ryo Lion notices that she is holding the knife. Bell goes after Liliruca and they collide. Bell gives Liliruca's knife back, not realizing she had tried to take it, and divides the money they make equally with her. This shocks Liliruca because all of her prior partners had given her practically nothing. While the identified goddess, later identified as Freya, watches Bell, Ais is seen in the dungeon getting ready to battle a formidable monster. When Hestia discovers Bell with Liliruca, she is distraught. Episode 5. Bell offers to go to dinner with Hestia. Hestia visits a public restroom and boasts to the goddess Demeter as she's overjoyed about the prospect of going on a date with Bell. When Bell shows up for their date, she discovers that Demeter has spread the rumor wildly and that she is surrounded by several goddesses who are anxious to meet Hestia's very first lover. They thus spend the majority of the day dodge and capture. Liliruca gets motivated to steal Bell's knife after having the money Bell gave her confiscated by members of the Soma Familia. However, as Bell continues to be friendly to her, Liliruca grows more perplexed. He learns the Firebolt spell from a book on magic he got from Sir. He runs to the dungeon to try out his new talent, but because he doesn't know anything about magic, he exhausts himself and falls unconscious. When Ais discovers him, she holds his head in her lap until he awakens. Once he does, he runs away after embarrassing himself in her presence once more. Bell declines Jed's offer to make money by taking the money Liliruca had managed to accumulate for herself by concealing it from the Soma Familia, while Bell is on the lookout for Liliruca. Episode 6. Liliruca was made to become a supporter when her parents passed away, which made her despise all adventurers. The Loki Familia learns that the Soma Familia have stopped worshipping their deity and have started making a potent wine that other explorers are willing to give their entire fortunes to try. Since Bell rushed away from her once more, Ais, who had become interested in him, has been unhappy. Aina approaches Ais for help since she is wary of Liliruca. Liliruca fools Bell into battling formidable monsters in the dungeon, where then she takes his knife once more. Jed, who had just been deceived by the Soma Familia, manages to catch her. Before being abandoned to be slaughtered by monstrous ants, Liliruca is forced to give up her bank key and Jed is slain. She anticipates dying but is shocked when Bell unexpectedly comes and saves her. Liliruca sobs and reveals every time she stole or deceived him. Despite this, Bell forgave her and the two of them developed a genuine friendship. Ais, who had remained concealed in the dense fog to kill the creatures assaulting Bell without him noticing her, is furious with herself for having forgotten to apologize to him until she discovers a piece of his missing armor. And that concludes my recap for the Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon series from Season 1 of Episodes 1 to 6. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, Anime with Annie, for more such exciting anime content and reviews. And please leave comments about what you thought of today's video. And remember, have an Annie-mazing day.